Wow. Where do I even begin with this movie? So I just got back from seeing Annihilation, the latest sci-fi film from Alex Garland. You probably at least know of Alex Garland's work since he's written, 28 Days Later, Sunshine, and Ex Machina. Annihilation is actually only the second time he's ever actually directed, first being Ex Machina. By the way, check out that film if you haven't yet, because that's actually a really good recent sci-fi film. This film is based on the first book of a 3-book trilogy, and I have read none of them, so I can't really compare the books to, obviously the film, since I've never seen it. But I'm just going to go off of that, and I'm not going to, spoil anything, by the way. Also, weirdly enough, this film is only being shown in theaters in the US, Canada, and China. Everywhere else around the world is being shown on Netflix because of some disagreements. I'm not going to go into the whole details of why that happened. I mean, you can just Google it, obviously. But yeah, luckily I live in the US, so I can see it in theaters. If you've seen Ex Machina, you'd know that Alex Garland likes to make these sort of slow burn kind of films. So probably the casual moviegoer isn't going to find this that interesting. They'll probably think it's pretty boring, or it's a little too weird. I mean, I feel like sci-fi especially, it's fine to be weird to an extent. But I really enjoyed it because I'm into those kind of things. So that didn't bother me as much. I actually was really invested and interested in the plot going on and finding out what is actually going to go on in this forest and what happens in this forest, because apparently nothing comes out of it. Except Oscar Isaac, of course, because that kind of leads into why this movie's plot even goes on. And without going into spoilers, as they learn more and more of what's going on and why he survived and the rest of his platoon didn't, and the stuff that happens in this forest, this mystical forest, there's some points where, you figure out more and more, and it's just like, what the hell? What is going on? But in a good way, though. Really quick, though, I do want to talk about how nice the visuals in this film are, since they are probably one of my favorite parts of the film, the whole forest in general, and the shimmer that's around it, and then all the crazy stuff that you see inside of it, because it's not like, flowers, plants, animals, trees, like everything's affected by this forest. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into making this stuff really unique and visually appealing, because I was just mesmerized by everything they kept showing me, all these weird things in this forest. I don't want to give anything away, so you really just have to see the film to see what crazy stuff is inside this forest. Another strength to this film is all the performances, because it has a really great cast, which is mostly female, by the way. I like that change since, the whole team that goes into the forest is female. And, I mean, they're all great in their own way. Natalie Portman, of course, is the star of this film, and she does do a really good job in this. I wouldn't say it's her best performance by any means, but it's just because she's had, so many other much greater performances. But she does still do a really good job in this film. Jason Leigh is kind of like the stern leader of the group that goes in, and she's pretty great. I mean, she's pretty stern, and you can understand why she is as you learn more of her backstory. But I was actually most surprised in this film by Gina Rodriguez. She kind of just showed off her serious side in this film, and I'd never really seen that before, since I've only seen her in Jane the Virgin and, Deepwater Horizon. I think that's the only things I've ever seen her in. But she's really great in this film, because I really wasn't expecting much from her, and then she gives this performance in this film, and I was like, geez, why don't you just do more serious roles? This is such a great thing for you. You obviously can act like this, so why not do more serious work? It was just like, wow. Tessa Thompson and Tuva Novotny are probably the ones that get the least amount of screen time as far as that whole group goes, but they're still both pretty solid. I mean, I like Tessa Thompson. I mean, I liked her in Thor Ragnarok, so this is nice that she's building upon this. I mean, I've never seen Tuva Novotny before in a film, so I mean, nice start, I guess. I've never seen her in anything else. Also, just to touch upon them, Oscar Isaac and Benedict Wong both are pretty good in this, but they're not really in it all that much, if I'm being honest. So that's why I didn't really feel like the need to talk about them a whole lot. If I had to think of any negatives other than it being a slow burn, so the pacing can be kind of slow at times, it probably causes more questions than it answers. So that probably can be kind of annoying to most people. It confused me a bit at sometimes, I'll be honest, but it didn't take me out of the film completely. And none of those issues really came until the final act of the film, which, by the way, the final act of this film is really out there as far as sci-fi goes. Especially the ending, because the ending did leave me kind of scratching my head I'm gonna have to read these books and figure out if I can get any more answers out of them. If you like slow burn kind of films or sci-fi or just sci-fi that's really out there, I definitely think this is the film for you, but if you're none of those things, I really don't think you're going to like this film, if I'm being honest. Because I did enjoy this film for what it was, because that's what I'm into, but there were plenty of people that left my screening and they just thought this was the worst thing ever, so I obviously disagree with them. But if I had to give a score for this film, I'd have to give Annihilation a B+. I mean, I probably did like Ex Machina more as far as Alex Garland films go, but this isn't really a step in the wrong direction, I feel. I think this is still a decent film. But yeah, let me know what you think of Annihilation when you see it. Just leave a comment on, your thoughts, what you thought of the film. Also, if you want, feel free to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.